So boxing scene are now reporting that Dillian Whyte has basically tested positive for two substances, not just the one. So he tested positive prior, I think it was July 17th, going into his fight with Oscar Rivas. And I've actually heard that the reason that this fight took place was because UCAT, they're almost like innocent until proven guilty until the actual, I think, A and the B sample come back, or maybe just the A sample. Then they'll kind of essentially say to the fighter, okay, you're good to go. Which is a very, very flimsy and dangerous kind of strategy. Because if there's any doubt that a fighter is under the influence or is, PED'd, then they need to pull that fight ASAP, because that is very, very dangerous. Seriously. Now, the drugs I'm seeing here, there's two. There's, what are they called? Okay, so there's one here which is a metabolite. It's a byproduct of the body breaking down a metabolizing drug into a different substance. When a drug is leaving the user's system, it leaves these intermediate and end products. Okay, well, that's not really anything. I'm trying to actually see what they are. I say one here actually is called Dianabol, I think is how you pronounce it, and it's an anabolic steroid that is taken orally, often in tablet form. It was developed in 1955 to treat, hypodensemia, but is no longer used medically and is no longer legal and available in many countries, including the United States. So it's illegal in the United States. It can be purchased in the United Kingdom, and it's often used as a performance enhancer, particularly by bodybuilders, interestingly enough. Amongst the side effects can cause serious damage to the liver, which is another reason why I don't understand why these fighters use these, because they're doing some serious damage to their health by using these performance enhancing drugs. The amount of Empesedo and these words, seriously, found in Dillian Whyte's A sample was very small. It could have been ingested as part of a supplement rather than directly ingested. But VADA standards for the two substances in question is equilative. In other words, any amount of either substances is a direct violation of VADA or WADA. Now, to be fair, I thought this was UCAT, so obviously WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Agency, obviously they had an influence in this as well, I'm assuming, because they're mentioned in this article. The British Boxing Board of Control was advised by UCAT prior to Whyte Rivas that Whyte tested positive for these two substances. Again, I'm going to maybe leave a link in them, or I'll spell them out in the video and put them in a title on the screen, because they're very long and they're tongue twisters, they really are. However, allowed the fight to proceed as scheduled without notifying the Rivas camp of the fight. Now that's something now that needs to be addressed. So they knew, the British Board of Boxing Control were told by UCAT about these adverse findings, and they neglected to tell the Rivas camp. Now that right there, I think needs to be investigated. If there's any doubt that one party has failed, I think the other party should know. That right there now was not, I don't like that at all. Okay? I'm just going to keep on reading with this. Eddie Hearn's statement did not deny that Whyte's A sample tested positive for an illegal performance enhancing drug, and in no event does VADA clear a fighter to fight. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's kind of the boxing scene article. I kind of went on a bit there. But yes, so as I said, when I done the first video about Dillian Whyte failing this drugs test, I actually wasn't aware that UCAT, with their policy, it's kind of innocent to proven guilty, so they would have let the fight go on. But the fact that Team Rivas were not informed, that right there, to me, that really is a red flag over UCAT and the British Boxing Board of Control. That's very dangerous. What if Rivas was hurt? We had a fighter who died in the ring over the weekend, okay? And you're letting Dillian Whyte go into the ring having, essentially tested positive for a banned substance, and you're not informing the other camp. That needs to be looked at seriously. Seriously, that's not good. And if I was in Team Rivas, I would have... See, we saw Andy Ruiz say earlier that he's not going to the UK to fight Anthony Joshua. Could you blame him if things like this are happening? Seriously. That is... No, the British Boxing Board of Control and UCAT. UCAT, with the whole Tyson Fury situation, when that happened, that was dragged out for 2 years. 2 years. And I think there was talk of even Fury suing UCAT, because in some ways you had to argue that they were incompetent incompetent with dealing with the Fury situation. And I think that this right here, the British Boxing Board of Control and UCAT, especially the board, they've got questions to be asked of them. Seriously. I know these are the two substances Dillian Whyte's failed for, but seriously, there needs to be some serious questions in that, because if this was happening in the States and this was VADA, that fight would have been pulled straight away. So there are some serious questions need to be asked about this, definitely. It reminds me of when, and thankfully this didn't happen, but it reminds me of when Povetkin fought Johan Dupa in Russia after he failed the test for Stavern. WBC pulled sanctions of that fight. You know, Bermain Stavern and his team got the hell out of there. They were notified. They got out of there. And obviously he fought Duba, who wasn't ready. We all saw what happened in that fight. But thankfully, the same outcome didn't happen to Team Rivas, or Oscar Rivas, I should say. But no, this is very, very serious. This needs to be investigated. And if Dillian Whyte has failed for even the tiniest trace, then I'm sorry. Ban this man. Ban him. I don't... Too often you see fighters get in the ring and put their lives on the line, especially in the wake of what happened to the Russian fighter over the weekend. It's a dangerous sport, and if people are getting in the ring with all these kinds of performance enhancers in their body, I don't care if you're Canelo, if you're Anthony Joshua, who you are, you need to be punished. You need to be out of that sport, because in my opinion, and I think in other people's, it probably should be a criminal offence. It should be GBH or something like that if you're in the ring juiced up to the eyeball, because you could do some serious damage. It's not like you're a 100-metre sprinter and it gives you an extra, I don't know what, tenth of a second. That's sprinting. This is boxing. Two people getting assaulted. It's very different. So, you know, very, very disturbing things in this article, definitely. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to leave it here. I don't want the video to go on too long. I'm going to leave it here. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think Dillian Whyte should be banned? I saw some fool say that this is a duck from Deontay Wilder. Hey, get the fuck out of here. No, it's not. No, it's not. Let me know what you think down below with the situation. Leave your thoughts below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. And of course, I will talk to you after.